welcome back to the final part of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 post-commentary. Now, I already did a recording of this, well, not the footage, I mean my voice, but it came out all muffled in the last part, so I've decided to do it again, but just try and make it better quality. And if I apologise if the sound quality wasn't that great. But anyway, this is Sky Chase Zone, and you just had the soundtrack for Sky Chase Zone. Sorry about that pause. But anyway, Sky Chase Zone is the easiest zone in the game because you can. If you die, I mean, I have died like once, but that's it. It's really easy in the end. Because all you're doing is just jumping into stuff and controlling the tornado plane. You can actually control the tornado plane by, you know, using the Mega Drive D-pad and the A, B and C buttons to jump. You can also spin dash on it, although I wouldn't recommend it. Since I'm using the GameCube version, the same applies with the D-pad and the analog stick, if you're using the analog stick, and the A, B buttons. To be perfectly honest, I've heard some people that the GameCube controller doesn't work well with the Sonic 2, with the classic Sonic games, but I think it works alright. Just not the I'm thinking of the Virtual Console just on the Wii. But anyway, what you see there in the background a couple of seconds ago was the preview to the next zone, which we'll get into in a minute. So yeah, enemies are not too hard, just jump on them. When I first saw these enemies that you see that I'm jumping on now, I thought before, when I first played this game, I thought that the propellers did damage to you, but no, it's the bombs that they drop on you. And you've got these turtles, I think they're turtles anyway, with a tortoise on top. They shoot out projectiles at you, and it's really easy to dodge. But yeah, Sky Chase is a calming and acoustic and a very nice, soothing place to be. Now we have Wing Fortress Zone. Oh god. This is my least favourite. Well, no, actually I think the next zone afterwards is my least favourite zone. But Wing Fortress Zone is definitely the most tense of the lot because you're over at a big, massive, bottomless drop, and you've got and it is quite a bit of a long way back if you get a game over. So yeah, there's a lot of rings available to collect in this stage. See, my ring count's already up to 57. Anyway, these bars are probably the biggest problem I have with the zone, because look, I wasn't far enough in the distance and you can't move an inch forward, and see, I ended up falling into a bottomless, ended up dropping off to my death there, but that's the only death I suffered in this zone, thank goodness. But yeah, Wing Fortress Zone is full of launch pads, rings. There's no loops. It's really platform heavy. So yeah, if you've been following this channel, I'm pretty sure there's not many of you who've been following the channel, but if you have been, you'll know that my next Let's Play I have in the works is Super Paper Mario, but that'll be for the new year. I'll be doing it first thing in January. It'll be 12th of January, I think, when I get started on it. So 12th of January next month is when I get started on playing Super Paper Mario. So yeah, you've got platforms and Wing Fortress Zone that move around, go up and down, and so on and so forth. Actually, there's a shortcut. If that first shield you get, you can actually skip half the level if you go through that propeller. See, the thing is, if you touch it, you'll get hit, but you'll lose the shield. But you can use the invincibility fringe to bypass it and skip level. But I'm doing it I was doing it the longer way, mainly because I didn't trust myself on the final zone and I wanted to grind out as many lives as I can, and that's what Wing Fortress is. If you know where to get the rings and stuff like that, it's really easy in the end to get a good amount of lives, which is really essential if you're a first timer doing this, because the final zone is the hardest to any classic Sonic game in the series. For some reason this zone gives you speed shoes, which I'm really confused by, but anyway, there's an extra life for me. So yeah, there's those enemies which basically chickens, and they shoot out eggs at you, which are really easy to dodge if you know the pattern, when they're going to shoot and where. Well, usually they just shoot directly in front of you because that's what they only do. You've also got those little guns, well, things there that shoot out loads of projectiles at you, shoot stuff at you, and can catch you off guard if you're not careful. But this, what you just saw there, I managed to collect 30 rings basically from getting on that launch pad. Now it's hard for me to decide which one. This game is often viewed as the best Sonic game of the series, and I agree. Well, I don't think it's the best in the series, but I could definitely rate it very, very highly. Actually, I might do a top 10 Sonic games, but that'll be for another time. There's quite a few other Sonic games coming out. But yeah, this is my second favourite Sonic game of all time, just behind Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and well, yeah, that already says a hell of a lot about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 2, should I say, rather. So that launch pad you just saw there, if you jump on it and let go of the controls, you'll jump across, and then grab the controls when you're on that other side, and you'll be able to get past the other launch pad, which will end up skyrocketing you across the other side and into the bottomless pit if you're not careful. At this point I was just stuttering around because there is actually an extra life around this part. Well, not this part, but the part coming up, actually, should I say, rather. But yeah, there's these loads of hooks around here that can raise you up and take you to certain other platforms. I decided, fuck it, I'll use the launch pad, and I ended up using the other one by accident. But yeah, the extra life is actually located below this bit here. If you go down here and go in there, you'll get an extra life. And to get out of there, to escape, you jump off, and for some reason you'll end up being transported to the other side. And this platform will raise up and down, and if you get on that platform, and then it'll raise you high enough, and you'll be able to grab onto that hook, and you'll be able to get back in the zone where you were originally going. See, my lives are now up from 11 to 15, and there's another life to find actually before this boss actually. So this is the boss for Wing Fortress Zone. Not much to say really, because it uses this uses platforms with spikes underneath them if you're not careful, and yeah. You saw there I lost all my rings just from going underneath the spikes. Your main goal is to get that laser up there, that laser beam up there, which if you can avoid it and just keep jumping up above it, you'll destroy it in the end. This bit though, I started to get a bit tense because I had no rings left, which was kind of odd. Seems so ironic that the actual last few bosses, which I'll get to in a minute, require I'm not sure I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, this is where, coming up now is where I defeat it. It's not too difficult in the end. Just don't even bother trying to get underneath the platforms. Just try jump over them, on top of them. If you go to the right here, jump across to the right hand side here, you'll get an extra life. And there we go. It kind of makes sense that I have no rings because, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Sorry if I keep saying that. But yeah. So yeah, Eggman or Robotnik, whatever you think, gets away in his rocket and, well, how ironic. Tails has fixed his tornado plane with a jetpack, which for some reason raises you up rather than going to the right or whatever direction they were going. But yeah, so yeah, Sonic and Tails fall off in pursuit and Sonic grabs onto Eggman's rocket. And now we're about to get launched into space, or Sonic is anyway. And now we are at the final zone of the game. Welcome to Dr. Robotnik's take on the Star Wars equivalent of the Death Star. We are now at the final zone of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Time now for the Death Egg Zone. Now I had to edit out the footage because, well, look at my life count. It just dropped all the way from 16 to 6. I lost about 10 lives trying to beat the last two bosses. I mean, I have beaten it, but I wasn't on form at this part. But anyway, Silver Sonic here, who's the next boss. It's pretty easy to defeat if you can work out a rhythm. You can spin dash into him, jump on him. Just one thing, avoid the spikes. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the last two bosses are the hardest bosses in Sonic history because your ring count is at 0 and there's no rings available. And that's not good. That's no good. But yeah, we're now at the final boss of the game, and Robotnik now will use his Death Egg robot. Gotta love the final boss theme tune, by the way. So yeah, the main tactic here for me, the strategy I'm using, is you go to a corner of the wall, wait until he comes. When that beeper goes off, beeps repeatedly, like about 5 or 6 times I think, you jump on top of him. Well, you jump to his head and repeat the sequence. First time he does it, he shoots arms at you. Second time he does it now, he'll just strut up towards you. You can go in for another attack if you want, but I never really bothered since I just wanted to do it the safest way possible. While I like the Death Egg in Sonic 2, I don't think it's as good as the Sonic 3 Knuckles version. I mean, obviously, yeah, Sonic 3 Knuckles came out after, but I think the Death Egg had a lot more menace to it in Sonic 3 Knuckles than I think it did here, in my opinion, but ah well. So yeah, I'm just stuttering all over the place now, or was, because this is past not present. I was just stuttering around all over the place waiting until he raises up, and yeah. See that radar, when it does that, when it flashes to red, it'll jump down on you, and you can just go to the left or right depending on which corner you go to, and then jump and go aim for his head. Well, jump and aim for his head, should I say, rather. Of all the bosses in the game, the Death Egg robot takes about 12 hits. Yeah, I think it's 12 hits rather than 8. So it does take quite a bit of a while to beat the Death Egg robot if you're using the safest way possible to kill him. But yeah, it is quite tense and nervy for a final boss, I think, since your ring counts at 0 and you can't afford to get hit once. Definitely requires a good amount of talent, I think. So yeah, I haven't really got much else to say really, because I'm just using the safest way to kill the deafing robot possible. But yeah, this game I had a good amount of fun playing. And I do kind of feel a bit guilty for not keeping up with the Sonic series as much as I've been keeping up with the Mario series, because I've been playing Mario games for 10 years now. The first Mario game I got was Mario Kart Super Circuit, and I didn't start playing Sonic games until last year, actually. In the summer of last year, when I got Sonic Colors for the Wii, and I was really amazed by it. And then I got the Sonic Mega Collection, and ever since I've been a Sonic nerd since. A big Sonic nerd, should I say, rather. I nearly died at this bit, because look at the arms, they were very close to getting me. But yeah, it takes around 3 to 4 minutes to kill him, but in the end, the deafing robot is no match for Sonic. So yeah, this is the ending of the game, the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So yeah, we'll explain the final few bits in these blank pictures. Animals stare up, the deaf egg is engulfed in an explosion. Tails looks up, sees that his friend Sonic is in danger, gets the tornado out, and goes out to save him. And now we cut to Sonic in a minute. See the tornado sets off. Sonic's free falling from space. And then Tails saves Sonic. This is actually the bad ending of the game. The good ending, Sonic actually turns super and does the victory pose. I prefer the bad ending more, if I'm honest. I think it's more heartwarming. The good ending, in my opinion, the bad ending, in my opinion, anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But yeah, guys, I shall see you later. This is the final Let's Play for me and this channel for 2012. 2013 is going to start with Super Paper Mario and a couple more games that me and my friend have in mind of doing sometime in the not so distant future. But anyway, I'm Major DB123 for Back Up Bunch Reviews. Hope you have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much for watching and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.